By the end of this video, you're going to have an enemy that shoots projectile bullets with muzzle and impact VFX as well as damage overlay VFX. What's good everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to make a physics based projectile bullet for our enemy AI. Also we're going to have muzzle and bullet impact effect as well as damage overlay effect. Let's dive in. Let's start by creating our projectile prefab. Just import your model or create a sphere here, scale it down a bit and drag it in your prefab folder. Then it becomes a prefab. After that, you need to make sure you have a collider and rigid body. Your rigid body needs to use gravity and you need to make sure your collision detection is in continuous. If you're like me and you don't have a rigid body on your player yet, you need to use continuous. But if you have a rigid body, use discrete. Next, you need to make sure you have a bullet layer on your prefab. If you don't have this layer, add layer and just write in bullet here and select your layer. The next step is to create our projectile script. So create a mono behavior script and name it projectile. Now I'm going to speed up the video and write everything and explain later. In the projectile script, we have some variables for the bullet, speed, damage, lifetime, impact force, and the impact effect, as well as some collision detection. If we're colliding with object with player tag, we're going to get the player health and deal the damage, as well as adding some force to the player so the player kinda knocks back. And if it collides with anything, we're going to play the impact effect. Now save the code and go back to your Unity and add the projectile script to your projectile prefab. Here leave these variables as they are and we need to add impact effect reference. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to make this effect in this video, but if you guys wanna know how to make effects like this, let me know in the comment, I'll make it right away. And then as soon as you add this, there's nothing much else to do with the projectile. Next, we're going to add some changes to our enemy AI script, which is here. Scroll all the way to the top. If you guys don't have this script, don't worry about it. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. You can find the full version of the code there, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm going to change. We're going to remove the damage variable here and we're going to change the bullet visual setting to projectile weapon setting. For the projectile setting, we're going to have the projectile prefab itself, the bullet. We're going to have a system to have shoot spread so the enemy can't always hit the player. We're going to have the muzzle effect prefab and these are all pretty much the same. Next, we're going to go to the shooting function and we're gonna change from raycast to use projectile. Now our shoot function is pretty simple. It gets the direction of the bullets going to be instantiated and then instantiates the bullet in the fire point position where we added in the previous video. I'm gonna show you guys in later on. And it's going to instantiate the muzzle flash prefab. Next, we're going to easily remove the move bullet visual function and we are good to go. Save the code and go back to your Unity and then we're going to add some references on the enemy AI script. So click on the enemy AI. Let me show you guys the fire point I mentioned. If you guys don't have it, this is very important. So under your gun, you need to have an empty game object that's pointing forward from the bullet hole. And then this is going to be the exact place where the muzzle, the bullet and everything instantiates from. Then you just drag the fire point in the empty slot here in the fire point. In the projectile setting here, we're going to simply drag in our projectile bullet prefab and the muzzle flash prefab where I already have it. If you guys don't know how to make it, again, let me know in the comment. It's something like this. I'll teach you guys immediately. After you added all of this, there is one more step we need to do, and that's to display this damage overlay every time player gets damaged. So simply go to your player, open up your player health script. Now it's gonna just reduce the health every time the player gets damaged, and when the health is 0, the player is going to die. Now it's just some debug, there is no visuals. We're going to add the visuals in the future. So now let's add the damage overlay. Alright guys, as you can see, we are calling the play damage overlay every time the player takes damage, and here we're in the play damage overlay, we are using this coroutine to smoothly display the damage overlay. Now save the code and go back to Unity. Here, if you click on the player and player, you can see we need to add the damage overlay image. So simply create a canvas from the UI section, and then in the UI, in the canvas, create a image. Call it damage overlay. And then in the damage overlay, you need to drag in your image. It can be anything you want. Now, one thing we need to change is the size of the image. If you look at in the game view, you can see the overlay is in the middle here. So we click on the image and change the width and height. So for me, it's going to probably be 9020 by 1080. Yes. So set the size into your screen, and then make sure to drag it into your damage overlay. Set the overlay duration to 1 for now. I think it's gonna be good. So with everything set, let's test the game. Now enemy is gonna look for us first and then see us and shoot us. Everything works perfectly. We can see the VFX, the damage overlay, and I'm taking damage in the debug, as you guys can see now. If I take 2 more damage, I die. For now, it's just debug, but for the future, we're going to add many more visuals. Alright guys, this was how we made projectile bullet with some cool VFX for our game. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.